Okay. Oh, huh? Okay. Okay, Nana. So please concentrate. Okay, please concentrate. Very important. Very important. I'm saying if you catch the logic, it will be very easy. Okay, please. So let's take host missions. What are these? Host missions are completely managed by whom? AWS. So guys, now I'm talking about what is happening in the back end of AWS. From front end, I just told you, if you reboot the instance store volume EC2 instances, data is not lost. So that is the front end for us. But why it is not lost? Let's see the logic behind it. Okay. So this logic, you will not find it directly in anywhere in internet. Experienced people will understand this logic, but I'm making you understand this also. Okay. So assume that we have two host machines. AWS will have many host machines also, right? Yes or no? Yes. So assume we have two. This is host machine. This host machine is handled by AWS. And this is also AWS. Okay. So what is there at the bottom? Yes. You have hardware. And on top of it, what you have? Hypervisor. Good. So this is hardware. Hardware. On top of it, what you have? Hypervisor. Hypervisor. On top of it, what do we create? EC2 instance. The VMs are nothing but EC2. So, Nana, this is important. See, now what I do is I went and launched one EC2 instance. So this EC2 instance will go and sit over here there or not? Yes, EC2 instance will go and sit over there. This is EC2. Now, this every EC2 will have a volume or not? Yes, this has the volume. Consider that can be a root volume, that can also be a additional volume. So all the volumes are coming from where? We have a centralized storage. No, what is that? EBS. What is the full form of EBS? Elastic. Elastic block storage. Okay. What is that? Elastic block storage. So all the volumes so this is nothing but central storage or not? Yeah, this is a central storage. So we have a EBS, which is a centralized storage. If you want volume, create the volume and attach to the EC2 instances. Yes or no? So that is a centralized storage. EBS is a centralized storage. You create it and you attach to the EC2 instance. So now, can we say that? So I created a volume in EBS and I have attached it here or not? Yes or no? So my volume is centrally stored in EBS. That is just a pointer to my EC2 instance. Yes or no? Okay, agree. So now what will happen is, so let's take, we have EBS and instance store volume. The characteristics of this, let's talk on that. So here, this is EBS and this is instance store volume. Okay. Nana, AWS follow one rule. Remember, this rule is important. AWS follow one rule. If you stop and start the EC2 instance, what is that? If you stop and start the EC2 instance, I'm talking what is happening behind the scene, behind in AWS point of view, in the backend point of view. If you stop and start the EC2 instance, the EC2 instance will jump from one host to another host. That is the logic they follow. If you stop and start the EC2 instance, what will happen? The EC2 instance will jump from one host to another host. So that meaning, if I stop and start this EC2 instance, this EC2 instance will jump here or not to another host? From here. It'll jump from here to here or not? Yes. This is the EC2 instance. No. Okay. It is jump from one host to another host. Good. And how about the volume? It will have the volume also or not? So guys, that volume is nothing but now instead of pointing to this, now this will be pointing here. Yes or no? Because the volume is created centrally in the EBS. Yes or no? Instead of pointing to the first machine, now it is pointing to the second machine because EBS is a centralized storage. All the data is stored centrally. Now you tell me, if I stop and start, jumpa, no jumpa? Jump. So it has jumped from one host to another host. Once it jumped from one host to another host, what type of volume it has? EBS volume. So if I stop and start the EC2 instance which has EBS volume, data is lost or not lost? Not lost, because data is stored centrally in the EBS. You got this point? Because the data is centrally stored in the EBS. Doesn't matter because this is EBS volume. If I stop and start, it will jump from one host to another host. Doesn't matter. If it jump also, my data is stored centrally in the EBS. Just only the pointer will change. That's it. Because it's centrally located. So now I'll write it here. Stop and start. What will happen? Stop and start. Jump or no jump? Jump. Data is lost or not? The logic behind it. Okay. Data is not lost. Okay. If you reboot, I'm not talking about stop and start now. I'm talking about reboot. Nana, if you reboot the EC2 instance, it will not jump from one host to another host. So that meaning reboot is equal to jumpa, no jumpa. It will sit in the same host machine. Now I'm questioning you. If I reboot the EC2 instance which has EBS volume, data is lost or not lost? Not lost, doesn't matter. The data is stored in the EBS centrally. So now I'm writing it here. If I reboot, jumpa, no jumpa? No jump. No. Data is lost or not? Data is not lost. Okay. But when you terminate, obviously data is lost because you're deleting it, Nana. Okay. Terminate meaning gaya, it's done. Terminate meaning lost. So do you all understood from the EBS point of view? So if I stop and start the EC2 instance, jump or no jump? Jump. If I reboot the EC2, jump or no jump? No jump. As it is EBS volume, data is stored centrally in the EBS. So if you jump also, no jump also, data will not be lost because it is stored centrally in the EBS. Now coming to which volume? Instance store volume. Let's see what is the behavior there. So now I went and launched one EC2 instance. This is EC2. It also has a volume, but this volume is what? Instance store volume. What volume? EBS volume is coming from EBS. Instance store volume is coming from where is the question. So Nana, I'm telling you one thing. This is the host machine or not? Every host machine will have its hard disk. Machine will have a hard disk or not? Definitely. Every machine, host machine will have the hard disk. So it has a hard disk here or not? Let's say this hard disk is, okay, so this is the hard disk. Some size is there. Whenever you have instance store volume, what will happen is, instance store volume is allocated from the local hard disk here. Instance store volume is allocated from the local hard disk. You understand the difference between EBS and instance store volume? EBS meaning centralized storage. Instance store volume, local storage. Some size is getting allocated from the local hard disk to the EC2. Now, let's see. Now I stop and start this EC2 instance. Stop and start, jump or no jump? What did we learn? Stop and start, jumpa, no jumpa? Jump or no jump? Jump. So this will jump from here to here. See the logic. It has jumped. No problem. It has jumped. This is EC2. Now you tell me. Once it is jumped from this host machine to this machine, you tell me the hard disk will also jump or not jump? No jump. No. How come hard disk will jump? How come hard disk will jump? It will not jump. So data where it left in the first host machine only. The EC2 instance has jumped from one host to another host. Once it has jumped from another host, this also has its own hard disk or not? Yes. This has a hard disk. No. A fresh hard disk is again attached to the EC2 instance. So when you have instance store volume, if you stop and start, what will happen? Jump or no jump? It will jump. So if it is jump, data is lost or not? Lost. That is the reason. Because the hard disk is located in the local machine. So EC2 instance will jump from one host to another host. The local hard disk will jump. So the data will be still over there, but EC2 instance has moved to another host. As this EC2 instance has its own local hard disk, a fresh hard disk will get allocated to the EC2 instance. Data is lost or not? Lost. Now, see here. Now, if I reboot, okay, let's say stop and start. What is jump or no jump? Jump. Data is lost or not lost? Huh? Data is lost. Okay. Now let's come to reboot. If I reboot, jump or no jump? Reboot, jump or no jump? No. If I take an EC2 instance which has instance store volume, now I rebooted the EC2 instance. Jump or no jump? No jump. So the EC2 instance is sitting on the same machine. Same hard disk is still attached or not? So if I reboot the instance store volume EC2 instance, data is lost or not lost? That is the logic. You understand? That is the logic. So as it is not jumping, so data is not lost. And you understand the logic? That is the thing. So this one, experienced people or those who know little bit in the backend, they know this. Otherwise, it's very hard to understand. Is that clear? So if you reboot, data is lost or not lost? Not lost, because it is reboot meaning no jump. It will sit on the same machine. The same local hard disk is still attached to the EC2 instance. Clear? Is it clear, everyone, till here? Online. Fantastic. So that is the logic behind it. Okay. So now that concept is done. Now, do you understand the clarity on the different types of volumes? Volumes are mainly classified into two types: EBS volume and instance store volumes. EBS volumes and instance store volumes. So EBS volumes are permanent storage, persistent storage, whereas instance store volumes are temporary or not persistent storage. Okay, now I'll tell you one scenario based. I'll ask one scenario based question. Tell me, you will answer this or not. Nana, you have one EC2 instance running in your production environment. You have one EC2 instance running in the production environment. Obviously, this EC2 instance is nothing but it is sitting on the host machine in the backend or not? Yes. Now, all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, what AWS said is, AWS wanted to do some maintenance on the host machine. Your EC2 instance getting affected or not? AWS has sent an email to you saying that, hey Babu, next month Friday, after 30 days, the EC2 instance will be stopped. There is a maintenance. What will you do in this case? Will you wait for 1 month or will you do any alternate things here? Alternate. What will you do? So you will hold the how you will make it jump the EC2 instance. Simple. What? Stop and start the EC2 instance. That machine will jump from one host to another host, and you not required for any maintenance. Experience tips. No one knows this, guys. No one knows. So if there is any maintenance activity which is happening on your EC2 instance, you no need to wait for next 1 month. Take your own sweet time at midnight when no one is accessing your machines. Just start enough. And that machine will not be under maintenance anymore. Those who don't know what they'll do, they will wait for next 30 days and they'll have a proper change management, and then they'll sit in front of the console and see when the machine will stop. When the machine will stop. Stopped. And then they'll go and start it again. Sometimes they will stop at midnight. Sometimes they'll stop at midnight. Will you be there at midnight to start it again? AWS will just stop. They will not start again. So unnecessary, by the time you come tomorrow and see, your machine was stopped since night. So your website is down since night. So in order to take this out, all these things, so take your proper time and then just stop and start. It will be out of the maintenance window. Clear? Good. Okay. Now. Nice. So now, whenever you launch an EC2 instance, you create EC2 instance. You launch EC2 instance. And EC2 instance should be launched by whom? AWS only, no? AWS should make ready your EC2 instance. What? You trigger it just. What you say? Click on launch. How many steps are there to launch an EC2 instance? 7 steps. When you click on launch EC2 instance and fill up all these 7 steps, and then click on launch. So AWS will help you to launch the EC2 instance. So whenever your EC2 instance got launched, AWS will do 2 checks. AWS will do how many checks? 2 checks. We call it as status checks. What is this? Status checks. There are 2 types of status check. How many types of status check? 2 types. One is instance status check, system status check. Which one? Instance status check, system status check. There are 2 types. And these 2 checks will be done by whom? AWS. Do we have any control on it? No. How many status checks are there? 2. What are those? Instance status check, system status check. One instance will check the software, and then the other will check the hardware. So basically, whenever you launch the EC2 instance, the software configuration and everything should be proper or not? Yes. So we have instance status check will check the hardware, and the other one is which one? System status check will check the hardware. I mean software thing. Whether the IP got configured or not, network is properly configured or not. So the first one here, instance status check, that will whether it got launched properly or not, the hardware is properly or not. AWS will check all those things. So there are 2 status checks, no? So we need to get 0/2, 1/2, 2/2. 2/2. So we need to get 2/2. Then only you can log into the EC2 instance. AWS will confirm saying that, okay, this EC2 instance has launched properly. Software configuration is good. Hardware configuration is good. 2/2 checks are passed. Now you can log into the EC2 instance. Pusuk, you get 1/2. Will you able to log into the EC2 instance? There is something problem. And if you get 0/2, will you log into the EC2 instance? No. So AWS should make sure that how many status checks should be passed? 2. Must and should 100%. These 2 status checks should be passed. Then only you can log into the EC2 instance. Let's say now, you got 1/2 or 0/2. What will you do? Think as a AWS engineer, solution architects. Huh? What will check? AWS is launching for you. Okay, that is a good method to check the error first. You haven't got anything error. You got 1/2 or 0/2. That's it. What will you do? Either देखो, either. Huh? What will you do? No. So okay, I'll make you to the answer this. So 1/2 or 0/2 represent what? Your EC2 instance didn't launch properly or not. It confirms saying that the EC2 instance has not launched properly. That meaning somewhere the host machine might not be good. That meaning the EC2 instance is not able to sit on the host machine because the host machine might not be good. That's the reason EC2 instance has not properly launched. So, and you got 1/2 or 0/2. Then if you want to make this work, what will you do? Stop and start. If you stop and start, what will happen? Jump from one host machine to another host machine. The another host machine might be a good host machine. So your 2/2 checks will be passed. That is also one more hint. One more experience tip. So if you get 1/2 or 0/2, what is the solution? Stop and start. Please do not terminate. So if you think that Abba EC2 instance did not launch properly, terminate and then launch one more. Not required. So what you need to do in this case? Stop and start. And if you feel that, no, sir, I didn't like that machine, I don't have any data, kill, terminate and then launch new one. No. So nowadays, there is something called auto recover is there. What is it, Nana? Auto recover. If you enable this auto recover, you don't get this issue. Automatically, AWS will fix that in the backend. But we should know the status check. How many status checks are there? 2. What are those? Instance status check and then system status checks. So one will check with the hardware and second will check the software side. So if you just get 1/2 or 0/2, what is the step that you take? Stop and start the issue. Otherwise, terminate and regrade. Because terminate is not the option, no, because you might be having data inside it. How can you terminate? For that reason, stop and start is the best option. You got this point? Very good. There is a question. Does external endpoint of EC2 will change after stop and start? That is external endpoint. Instead of that, can we say IP address? The endpoint for the EC2 instance is what? IP address only, no? Right? So whether that is changed or not, when we have a topic coming, which is called types of IPs. There we'll talk about it. So if you stop and start the EC2 instance endpoint, that means IP address will change or not. We will see in the networking topic, not here now. We'll go one by one. Okay. So let's write types of status checks, or 2 types of status check. Number 1, instance status check, and then system status check. Most of the time that will resolve that issue, Shiv Kumar. Just in case, if you still got 1/2 or 0/2, again stop and start until you get it. But in the first time itself, this will get resolved. I also did many times. There is no guarantee. There is no option called guarantee which shown in green color. No, there is nothing like that. So that is a logic that is happening again. It will work like that only. So first it will check hardware check. Second one is software check. So you should get 2/2 checks are passed. You should get this. If you get 1/2 checks are passed, or if you get 0/2 checks are passed. In first case, can you log into the EC2 instance? Yes, can log into EC2. In second case, can you log in? You cannot log into EC2. Third case, can you log in? No. What is the solution for this? Yes, but who will do all the checks? AWS. AWS will do the status checks for us. Simple as it. Data is lost. That's the reason why you should not put data inside it. If you get this kind of problems, push data is gone. So that is for temporary purpose. Shivakumar, did I answer your question or not? So once the question got answered, please put CC or say something. Okay, good. Now what is the solution for this? Stop and start. Stop and start. It will jump to new host. And yes, it will start working with 2/2. What is the next solution, Anna? Terminate. But is it recommended? Terminate the EC2 if you don't have any data. Not recommended. Okay. We are able to read this status if it fails. Yes, it will clearly show on the console the status checks are failed or passed. Okay. So there are 6 states. How many states are there? 6 states. There are 6 instance states. What is that, Nana? We call it as instance state. When you launch an EC2 instance, the state is pending. When you just launch an EC2 instance, what is the first state that you get? Pending. After a few seconds or a minute, it will turn to running. When you launch an EC2 instance, what is the state that you get? Pending to running. That is when you launch. When you stop the EC2 instance, the status will be stopping, stopped. What is that? Stopping, stopped. When you terminate the EC2 instance, shutting down, terminated. Come with me, guys. Say with me here. So when you launch an EC2 instance, what is totally how many instance states are there? 6 are there. How many are there, Nana? 6. So when you launch an EC2 instance, what is the state that you get? Pending, running. Which one? Pending, running. When you stop, stopping, stopped. What is that? Stopping, stop. When you terminate, shutting down, terminated. Again, pending, running. Say that. Pending, running. Stopping, stop. Shutting down, terminated. One more time with me, okay? Pending, running. Stopping, stop. Shutting down, terminated. So whichever the action that you have done, the status will be like that. Okay, when you launch, what is the status that you get? Pending. After some times, it will go to the running. When you stop the EC2 instance, stopping, it will be for a few seconds, then it will be stopped. When you terminate the EC2 instance, shutting down, after a few seconds, it will be terminated. So these are the 6 states. I'll write it here. Instance 6 states. Number 1. When you launch, pending, running. When you stop, stopping, stopped. When you terminate, shutting down, terminated. Okay, done. Is this clear till here, everyone? Online? Okay, very good. Slowly. Now, let me ask you one certification question here. Think and answer. Think and answer. Definitely you'll say wrong answer first, but I'm saying you think and answer. Okay. Okay. I have launched an EC2 instance and I want to have a super speed volume. Should I use EBS volume or instance store volume? Which volume? EBS volume or instance volume? Which volume will I get high performance? I told you, you'll say wrong. Think and answer. I'm saying no. I told you also that you'll say wrong answer first. That's why I said think and answer. Now think and answer. Now, definitely EBS is the wrong answer. What is the second answer we have? Answer. But why? Think on that and tell me. Come on, future architects. Excellent. Because it is the local drive. So instead of getting data from centralized location somewhere, so my data is in the same machine only, no? So which one will have a high performance? Instance store volume. But is it recommended to use? No. If we push stop and start, data is gone. For that reason, but if you're sure that I will not stop, sir, I will not stop, I will use your wish. But be ready if something goes wrong, data is lost. It's up to you. Because these EBS volumes are network attached volumes, no? Through network it is coming, no? Somewhere centralized storage is there. Through network it is getting attached. But these instance store volumes are local, the hard disk. So which one is faster? ISV volumes are faster. That is a certification. Definitely you'll put wrong answer, no? But the logic is different. So we learn the logics. Logics are important. Okay. Write down. I'll write it for you here. Write down, guys. Very important. EBS volumes are network drives with good but limited performance. I'm not saying EBS volumes are bad. It is also good. But compared to ISV, it is little bit. If you need a high performance hard disk, use instance store volumes. But risk of data loss if hardware fails. Now, if you are using instance store volume, who will take care of the backups? AWS or we? We should take care. If you think that no, I want to use, I don't want to use EBS volume, I want to use instance store volumes, be careful about your data. If you push stop and start, data is lost. But if you still want to have your data, you need to take the backup of the data or not? Yes. So backups is our responsibility, not AWS. Okay. Is it clear? Very good. Should I move on? Okay. Nice. So next one here is called, we call it as EC2. What is that? Hibernate. You know very well this. What is Hibernate? What is Hibernate? Sleeping mode. You don't know sleep mode? You don't know sleep mode? When you're watching some movie videos somewhere in your laptop, if your parents or friends come all of a sudden, what you'll do? You close your laptop or not? Yes or no? And all now, once you close your laptop, and then once you open the laptop again, you will get the same data or all the data will be lost? Same data, no? Again, tell me, the data, I mean, will it boot it again or it will not boot? It will not boot, right? So hibernate meaning hibernate and the sleep mode both are same, right? So just in case, if you close your laptop without shutdown, if you just close your laptop, all your data will be temporarily stored into the RAM. Where it will store? Into the RAM. So all the data that whatever you're using will be temporarily stored in the RAM. So once you again trigger your laptop to open, so will it boot it from start? No, it will just come up just like that because it is loading from the RAM directly. So when do you use this? Let's say, for example, in real time, you have such a big machine, so much of hundreds of RAM, and you have lots of data inside it. So many processes are running. Is it recommended to stop and start? Or it will, sorry. Is it recommended to stop and start or it is recommended to hibernate it? Hibernate it. Because if you stop and start, what will happen? It will take long time to get boot and it will take long time to start your services. It will take long time to set up everything from scratch. Otherwise, simply if you hibernate it, the time will be saved. All your data will be stored into the RAM. And here in hibernate, so in RAM, you need to store maximum of 150 GB data. How much? 150 GB data. And also keep this in mind, your volume should be EBS volume. It cannot be instance store volume. Are we talking about root volume or additional volume? Root only. Because your operating system will be on which volume? Root volume only. So your root volume should be EBS volume, not instance store volume. If you want to use this hibernate option, your EC2 instance root volume should be which type? EBS volume. Does it should be instance store volume? No. And another important thing here is your volume should be encrypted. Your volume should be encrypted. Very important. And you cannot keep your EC2 instance in hibernate mode more than 60 days. You cannot put it. If it is more than 60 days, stop it. No, why you are putting in hibernate? Yes or no? You will not be opening your laptop for 60 days. Will you hibernate it or will you stop it? Stop, shut down. No. If you want to use it immediately, then go for Hibernate. So let's write, this is a perfect certification and interview questions, right? So it is stored in memory. That meaning RAM is preserved. The instance boot is much faster. The OS is not stopped or restarted. The RAM state is written to a file in the root EBS volume. The root EBS volume must be encrypted. So use cases would be for long running process. And if you want to save RAM state and services that take time to initialize, then you can go for these use cases. Instance RAM size must be less than 150 GB. Yeah. And root volume must be EBS and encrypted, not ISV. And instance cannot be hibernated for more than 60 days. Okay. Is it clear till here, everyone? Clear na? Online, is it clear na? Slowly. 100%. Obviously, no. If you hibernate, will it save cost or not? So that means they will not bill if it is in hibernate mode. If you are not using, then go to hibernate. Volume spelling mistake where? Abba, it's okay, no? It's not spelling mistake, it's typo. Yeah, you can ignore the spelling mistakes. Business process batch job continue to run. There is no impact. No impact. Okay, so I wanted to take next important topic, but actually, this topic has to be covered in our last class itself. So this topic, whatever I showed you today, this has to cover in the previous class, and today I am supposed to take a new topic, but I already so it's 1 hour done it already. So we have just only half an hour left. So what I would recommend is I will not able to start a new topic in these few minutes. So I'll take this next important topic freshly in tomorrow's class. Okay. This is for your good health only, not for me. Because unnecessarily you get confused half and half, that and this. So do you have any questions? You can utilize this time for questions. Could you please share the previous slide? Sure. This one. So we are going each and every point deeper, right? Again, I'm telling you, will not get this kind of depth anywhere, not in the YouTube also, anywhere, unless if we find copy of mine. And I have been noticed also that many people started copying my pains. They started teaching how I'm teaching. Right. Sir, is this concept same across the cloud providers? Yes. Second one. Yeah, I think 100% you can, Varish. When the course will get finished exactly. You can think about November 2nd week. There is no hurry at all. Are you in hurry? No, no. No issues, right? It'll take a lot of time, Vijay, to read all these things. It doesn't. 2 months, 3 months doesn't affect Vijay. So please wait until you complete the course and then start searching for it. Sir, if it takes that concept, that is the concept. Guys, okay, anyways, this guy is revealed Abdul. Did we learn about snapshot? No. So that is the topic that I wanted to start. So the next topic that we're going to talk about is snapshot. What is snapshot? Generally. Snapshot. Selvia. Okay, snapshot. No, snapshot, not Snapchat. Snapshot. Right? Snapshot, not Snapchat. Okay. Screenshot. No, it's just like a backup. Right? So now here we need to take the backup of, let's say, for example, you have an EC2 instance. EC2 instance has how many types of volumes? 2 types, root volume and additional volume. So I'll keep my data in root volume also. I'll keep my data in the additional volume, C drive, D drive, E drive also. All of a sudden, I want to take the backup of D drive. I have so much of data in D drive. Will you copy paste will you copy the folder and put it in the same D drive? Backup meaning? What happened if the D drive is completely gone? Your backup is also gone, no, inside it. So we are not taking the backup from the machine. We are taking on the volume level from the back. So we are taking the backup of the whole volume. It's a volume only, no? Attach, detach. You create the volume and attach to the EC2 instance. Create volume, attach. So that volume we are taking the backup, and that backup of the volume is called what? Snapshot. So this concept, we'll talk it in the next class. I've already shared the training material. Did I? Guys, hey, in Google Classroom, not all. Did you got till IIM? Till IIM you got, no? Yes or no? In Google Classroom. Don't expect that I'll be sharing the whole material in one shot. I will not. Because unnecessarily you'll go inside and calicify all the slides, you'll get confused. So till IIM, expect the material till IIM only for now. Okay, next. Can we book exam for November last? Yes, you can. Cheban, you can. Sir, we have done the IIM lab practice. Then we are planning for EC2. When are we planning for EC2? After completing the theory of EC2, then we go for the EC2 lab. For ISV backup, user responsible or AWS? Who is responsible? You tell me. For ISV backup, user is responsible or AWS? User only, no? In case of ISV, the concept is same. In case of ISV, is the concept is same for dedicated host or instance? EBS will stop and so on will be there. Yes, they'll have the same concept, I think. Materials are getting shared in Google Classroom. Okay, so if you are not there in Google Classroom, please ask your admin to be in Google. So added you to the Google Classroom. So there I'll be uploading material also. I'll be uploading the task there itself. Okay. Okay, if not, I'll check it again. Now I have time. So I'll check it again. If it's not uploaded, I'll upload it till IAM. Okay. All right. So why to waste time? So you can enjoy the rest of the time now. You can go early, go to your home early. Israel started war. And because of this, any effect on the job opportunities? No. Are you doing any jobs in Israel? No, no, I don't think so. Okay, Nana. So can you give the final CC for today, please? Previous slide, huh? Take the screenshot of this previous slide. Okay. So from tomorrow onwards, so let's gear up on EC2.